one of the most memorable lines from John Wayne comes from the movie McClintock. He says, "Don't push me, bureaucrat. I got a touch of a hangover." I kind of identify with those words from George Washington McClintock. I rebel against bureaucrats and rebel against bureaucracy. I know that bold leadership can make a lot of mistakes, can create chaos, can make risky decisions, and that some kind of a bureaucracy is very helpful in giving stability, processes that improve things. But to lead effectively in today's culture, we have to decide on a certain amount of boldness. Again, I go back to Aristotle. If you look at his golden mean, on one end you might have impulsive, on the other end you might have inaction, but somewhere in the middle is where effective leaders decide to operate. I had a chance to do an interview with Alan Mulally, CEO of Ford, who led the turnaround, probably a historic turnaround in our day and age, or maybe forever, of a corporation that large. And he calls it positive leadership. You have to convince people that you know where you're going, that you can get there, and that you can lead them there. And to do that, you have to make some bold decisions and take some risk. So what does it mean to be a bold leader? Well, I think one thing you have to do for sure is be able to articulate a compelling vision. President John F. Kennedy articulated it when he said, "We're going to put a man on the moon and bring him back safely." That was before we had the capability. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "I have a vision," and it galvanized a whole nation and indeed a whole world about civil rights. So if you can't articulate a compelling vision, it's very hard to engage people to follow you with some bold action. Leaders need to be able to interpret hard and soft data. Now, data is not the answer to everything, but being able to make some intuitive decisions, being able to make some analysis and then make a decision is incredibly important. And if you can't assess your people, and if you can't assess what you need and what they can do, it's very hard to make bold decisions. We live in an age where time is passing very rapidly and we have to be bold. A good model to follow, which is one I follow, is from our local guy, Dan Amos, CEO of Aflac. He talked about risk and risk management. And he says, never risk a lot for a little, never risk more than you can lose, and consider the odds. That's good advice for bold leaders. You have to be bold, but you have to mitigate those risks and make good, bold, informed decisions.